All right, I'm a little late to the party on this one, but the other day it was Dragon Quest 35th anniversary, right? And we got a little bit of live streaming from Square Enix. It's all Japanese, all that stuff. But with that, we got quite a bit of announcements from Dragon Quest. Uh, the big one, of course, Dragon Quest 12, but we will get to that. I have a bit more to say on that other than just the announcement in general, right? But we'll skip down here. I'm looking at this article from Engadget. I think they kind of sum up some of the bigger points a little bit better, real clear and concise. But here's this little image right here of everything they announced. Mobile games, Dragon Quest 12. They're doing an update to Dragon Quest X, which was an MMO that I think only released in Japan. I might be wrong on that. I'm not the biggest Dragon Quest nerd, in terms of Final Fantasy. I know more about that. Dragon Quest dabbled here and there, but not too much. But I think that this is really interesting and really telling of the JRPG community and where we're going in the future. But first, what's really cool is this right here, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. I'm gonna pull up the trailer right here. I'm gonna have the sound off, but just so you guys can see what they're doing. Super cool, and actually kind of what I said the other day in my stream. I was talking about, I think that they'll do a Final Fantasy VI remake in the vein of Octopath Traveler, but they kind of beat me to the punch on that with this Dragon Quest 3 remake. So we see here everything's normal, but then look how gorgeous. Look at this. Octopath Traveler was beautiful, but this is like, ooh. So I don't know a whole lot about Dragon Quest 3, especially being old game. I know they released like the triple pack a couple months back with 1, 2, and 3 that you can get. But this is so cool. Look at how gorgeous it looks. I can't believe it. So that's that, right? That's cool. Good to see, showing a little bit of nostalgia to the older fans and not changing too much of the game aside from the visuals, kind of bringing it to the modern platform, almost what they were doing with what's it called, Ever Crisis. Kind of remaking the games in their original form, but just updating the graphics. And this is exactly what some hardcore JRPG fans are looking for when it comes to these older games, and Square Enix actually giving them some kind of a proper remake, right? So that's very cool. The trailer for Dragon Quest X, again, MMO. I don't know a lot about it. It's very cool. They're doing like an expansion and then a single player version of the game. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. But the big news from this, right? What we're really here to talk about is Dragon Quest 12. Excuse me. So, I don't know if it says. I don't think so. Okay, anyways. Dragon Quest 12. This is where it gets interesting, right? Because we have this game here. All we know is this. This is all we get. Right here. There's like some little bit of like a quote at the end. I can't really remember, but there's no real indication of what this game is going to mean and what it's going to be about, anything like that. We just get this logo here. But the big thing, we didn't see anything about the game other than its fiery logo. However, the stream mentioned that it would be a more adult experience than previous games, that asks players to make choices about how they want to play. It also mentions the game will have an updated battle system, but didn't mention any specifics. Okay, so a takeaway from that is a more adult experience, right? And we've already seen this. I have this article right here from Game Rant. Dragon Quest 12 and Final Fantasy 16 are taking the iconic franchises to dark places. I don't know if I would say dark. Obviously, with Final Fantasy 16, we know that it's more mature, right? It's not necessarily angsty and emo and edgy and stuff like that, but it's just that matureness that they're going to bring. And it's almost a reflection of how Square Enix is looking at their audience as a whole and kind of realizing, okay, these people that love our games, have played our games in the past, they're old, okay, right? You know, I'll be streaming and I have people that are 30 years old, late 20s, early 40s sometimes, that are like, these are the games I grew up with, you know. Even myself, you know, I'm 21 and I'm playing these games, and sometimes it's like, all right, you know, cool, it's a good game, it's good concepts and stuff, but I want a little bit more weight, a little bit more that I can sink my teeth into, that'll make me think and stuff like that. And I think that Square Enix especially, who are the leaders in JRPGs, I don't care who you ask, when you think of JRPGs, who do you think of? Square Enix, number one. Maybe Atlas, Bandai Namco, okay? But if we have Square Enix leading the charge on this, taking their iconic franchises like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy into this new age of gaming geared towards adults,
Chill out, will ya?
ooh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I'm not going to read through all these articles. I'll leave the links down below. You can read through them yourselves. Basically, what I just wanted to highlight with this announcement is the fact that we've been complaining for so long. We've been complaining as video game fans and Square Enix fans about how they're always dropping the ball on these games, right? Final Fantasy 15, 13 was weird, stuff like that. Even 7 Remake, people were kind of like, I don't know if I like where this is going. But damn, this has me so excited. Not necessarily for Dragon Quest 12. Not even necessarily for Final Fantasy 16. Of course, I am super excited for them in their own right. But just for the way that this is starting to change the image of what these JRPGs are going to stand for, what they're going to mean, how they're going to play, and how they will be perceived by the fans. I think that it's going to... I think it's going to land the mark on both these games. Again, we don't know anything about Dragon Quest 12, so it's a little presumptive to say that. But just the fact that they're saying these things and that's what their vision is gives me, and I hope you guys, a lot of hope for what's to come, and gets you super excited, even if you're an older gamer. You know, like I said, someone that grew up playing Dragon Quest 3 when it first came out. And even if you're not excited for something like updated battle system, right? That's something that can be a point of contention too. With the Final Fantasy VII Remake, people were kind of like, I just want that turn-based, right? But, you know, the medium is evolving. It's leaning more towards the interactive action RPGs. Turn-based, you still have that with games like Persona. Obviously, Dragon Quest 3, HD 2D is going to be turn-based. And it's also very interesting to note that Dragon Quest was always kind of the... what do I want to say? Not the staple game, but kind of the standard for JRPGs, right? Whenever you would think of a JRPG, of course you think of Final Fantasy, but when you're thinking turn-based combat, fantasy world, stuff like that, you know, medieval times type deal, magic, you would think of Dragon Quest, because Final Fantasy would always take all these different routes, Magitech, modern day, whatever, let's go action, let's go this weird ATB, turn-based, real-time strategy, whatever system. They would always be experimental with Final Fantasy, but Dragon Quest kept it to its core. Even Dragon Quest 11 was still pretty much, if I remember correctly, I didn't play all the way through, but it was just turn-based. Like, they had their little gimmick in there, like where you would get pepped up or whatever. But aside from that, it was strictly turn-based, and that's why people really like Dragon Quest. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this updated battle system and what that means for the series as a whole. But it's exciting. It is very exciting. And real quick, saw this article from Comic Book. Does Dragon Quest signal how Square Enix will handle older franchises? And legit, the first thing that they mention, future Final Fantasy, that's Final Fantasy VI right there. I'm still holding on to it. I think that they're going to do it. I think that they're going to make Final Fantasy VI into that HD 2D style. Maybe they'll do 4. I don't know. I think 6 is the way to go. But let's not get too greedy, okay? E3 is coming up. We're getting announcements now. I hope they don't give us too much, because that's the magic of E3, is kind of getting hype for the live streams. And what are we waiting on? 2 weeks here? Not even? Starts the 12th? That's May. So about 2 weeks, yeah. E3 is upon us. And I'm excited. I'm here for it. I hope you guys are too. Again, links to the articles will be down in the description. Also, if you want to check out my live stream, we're always playing. Right now we're playing Final Fantasy VIII. Having a good time. We talk about this stuff too. Getting excited. Getting excited. Dragon Quest 12. Okay. Okay. It is time for the era of adult and mature JRPGs. And I hope you're as ready as I am. I'll see you guys next time.
Chill out, will ya?